welcome to the America's Army Mission Success Dev Stream. Tonight we are celebrating the 20 years of the America's Army series. I'm Combat Camera, and I'm joined by my friend, colleague, and all-around good person, community manager, Big Freezy. What's happening, Big Freezy?
Hooah!
Hooah!
Hello, everyone.
All right.
So, this is Freezy Pop. It's been a long time. Myself and Combat Cam are happy to present some of our devs and beta today to celebrate the America's Army series as a whole and to discuss the features available in the final PC build of AAPG. So we have a few guests / participants / very important people with us, and we're just going to kind of run down and let them say hi. So we have executive producer Daniel with us today.
Is he?
Hello.
Oh, there he is.
We have he'll be here later, hopefully. Thomas, he's producer. We have lead engineer Cardigan.
Hello.
Software engineer Steven.
Yo.
Hopefully beta captain Mason will be in later. If not, beta tester Wolverine will take his place. Hello.
Hello, everyone.
So, as we previously announced, and we were going to try to prep yesterday, official servers and support for AAPG was shut down today on May 5th, 2022. But today we really want to celebrate the series and leave it off on a high note. And we want to go over the features that are still available, like private servers, the mission editor, shoot houses. So, we want to stress today that those are still accessible, playable, and they are thriving. And I just want to leave off on this note before I hand it back over to Combat Cam. The devs and betas worked diligently to release a lot of PC hotfixes up until this point to make the final version of the game the best it can be so that we can enjoy it for a long time. So, anyway, I'm happy everyone in chat. Looks like we got a lot of people. So, I'll post some stuff in there. Keep an eye on that. So, okay, Combat Cam, handing it back to you.
We have various media outlets for America's Army, and we just want to go over a list of what's going to be still active, what's closed. Okay, so PSN, obviously everything's been shut down there. Steam, private servers, and other features will remain accessible, and AAPG will remain available to download for new people. Discord, AAPG server has been turned over to the community to moderate. You did that today, correct, Freezy?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The website, what's the status? That's been taken down. There's a single page there.
So if you try to go to americasarmy.com, you're going to find a landing page, and it gives a little rundown of AAPG and what happened and when it shut down. But also there's links if you want to download the legacy titles now, AA3, and there's a download link on americasarmy.com for AAPG on Steam as well.
Oh, cool. AA3 as well. Wow.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I know there's still some servers out there, people running 2.85 around. I've run across. Okay, so that's the website. The forum. So the official forum has been taken down, but a beta, did he clone the whole thing?
So MacLobster, I call him Mac. He actually just took it upon himself to basically copy the whole archive on our original forum, and he laid it out in almost the same format on his own site. So that link's in our chat, and it's also in our Twitch about section. So check that out and get signed up.
Pretty much any of these links that we mentioned tonight will be listed in multiple places, all the Twitter and that type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll be all over the place. Okay, so YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch accounts will remain up and accessible, but we won't be posting anything there. But you can look at some videos that we had put out over the years, and if you want to comment on them and tell the Army hierarchy to, make a AA5, that's fine.
Share it around. Share some links.
So, okay. Next. Okay, here's some of the links. And you're saying, Freezy, that this download link is already out there, right? We have that somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, it's out there.
Final build patch notes, a Steam guide, and AA stats, which is not affiliated with America. I mean, it's not part of America's Army, but they put up a new site, beta site that's going to track America's Army stats too, and that's the link for that. Now the PC system requirements. Any of the devs want to talk to that? It's pretty minimal at this point, right?
Yeah, I mean it runs on a PlayStation 4, so.
Right.
Okay, burn. That was that was a very mean burn.
All right, so
right
translate that to a PC. It's really, I mean, because
it ran on my old 660 GTX.
Okay.
So that's ancient.
All right, so we're pretty much anybody that wants to run it can run it. So
yeah,
that's cool. All right, 10 years ago, I did a 10-year anniversary video for America's Army. So what I did was just take that 10-year and continue on and just fill out the 20 years. But it's just real quick shots with some music, and the music is all from the game of that era. So the music starts out with AA2 music, goes to AA3, and then we use the theme from PG in there. This is a 7-minute video. We'll play it now. When we come back, we can go over all that stuff we were talking about earlier.
When we were bringing up the concept of a new America's Army, we had in mind proving grounds. We didn't know exactly what that was going to be. Most of the feedback was, bring back AA2 with better graphics. It's really not that simple.
Objective accomplished.
All right, we're back. So that was 20 years of America's Army in 7 minutes. There was so much more I wanted to include in that. It just was hard just to pick only those shots. What's next on the agenda here, Freeze?
I guess now we can hop into a server and talk about features.
Okay.
I did put in chat everyone to ask your questions. We're going to have, I guess, dedicated QA time, what have you. But if you guys want to keep on putting questions in, I'm recording them for when we get to the questionnaire trivia round.
All right. This is a server. Isn't this the betas playing on this one?
Yeah, so I want to encourage the community. The betas put together a set of servers, and they go by basically the same name layout, beta blockers. So they're really running the servers how we did. They're going to keep our same rule set and admin as we did before. And they're going to bring in a lot of admins that we had already onto those servers. So I recommend them for good, clean fun. They keep it really, I don't want to say easy, but it's very welcoming to new players.
Let's talk about the fact that the 50 maps. If somebody wants to start talking about that, I'm going to switch over to.
We got the idea started to put this in the final build.
I guess we really started with an initiative where we were talking to the beta team about making maps for the official game.
Mm-hmm.
And when the shutdown news came across, we were already kind of talking about that. So we already had a set of rules that we were familiar with, and we modified them slightly. And then it was, how many can we fit in before we shut down kind of thing. And we hit 50, and 50 made sense.
Yeah, so this is the list here I have up. Now, I'm starting from the bottom here. I was on some server yesterday that had me download 250 different maps. So ours are all in the 50 are in alphabetical order here. I'm starting from the bottom and going up. But if there's any in here that anybody wants to see right off the bat, I will go to it on my other screen. Any of these, because I'm not familiar with a lot of these.
I like SmugglersHarbor, the pirate ship map. That's one of my favorites.
Okay. Actually, right here, let me switch over to this Combat 2 SmugglersHarbor. This is won by who? Somebody we are kind of familiar with here.
A little bit.
Yeah,
a little bit.
I know that dude. So did you work on this with your friend? Is Muzza on this or multiple people?
There was a couple of things that I got together with Lobo from Beer Me and then Muzza from Renegades. There was some collaboration on some stuff we worked together with, but mainly just some meshes and stuff like that. But most of it was me. Just they added some stuff to it, so I ended up giving them credit and putting their names up on the as you see on the wall on the other side, I believe. Muzza and I worked together a lot towards the latter, like later in time. Lobo, when Beer Me was huge back in the day, they had 3, 4, 5 servers. I did a lot of work with them, and so I was always the guy that they came to with questions about maps and stuff like that. So so it's been a long time of going around with a lot of people I've met through this game. It's kind of it's a sad day in a way, but it's kind of now today sinking in. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
But this is from obviously from AA2. It was shortened up. Lobo had made this, so I talked to him I told him I wanted to make it pretty. You know what I'm saying? And just try to kind of fix it up and create some newer meshes and newer textures and stuff like that, and just try to spice it up a little bit, so to speak.
Yeah, we played this together, and there's a whole dungeon or lower level to this,
yes,
right?
it's an underground,
Yeah.
correct. Which is yes, this version has a bomb. There's 2 sites, obviously Y and Z.
Okay.
Z is underneath, and then Y is on the
top?
same level.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then the only problem was in testing when all these maps were, I'll go back and touch it on that a little bit more on how all this happened, but the VIP was actually, if you shoot them, it ends the match. So depending on who, so we had to remove that because people start shooting them on purpose or by accident, crossfire, and they would hit them on that. So, but yeah, so usually it takes me on an average when I'm building a map, depending, how much detail I get into, it can take a couple of months, from a week to 4 or 5 months. I mean, it took CSAR probably a good, I think, 600 to 700 hours.
Yeah, that's really detailed.
Yeah,
that's a beautiful map. I like that one.
Yeah.
So I switched over to Smugglers. What is it? Smugglers what?
SmugglersHarbor, I believe.
Yeah, on this other.
Yeah, this we had to. Unless Adam wants to jump in, this we had to fix because there's some issues with the water where the.
Where should I be going on
the
this?
ship was. Turn around. Turn around 180.
From here.
Where you at? Well, you can go out that way. If this is the newer turn. No, you're good. Go to your left. Just keep
got
going.
better controls,
Yeah, go
combat
straight.
sound.
Go to the pirate ship. Right. Go straight ahead.
This way.
Yeah, and so if you
cool.
look, keep going. No, keep going to your right. The other way to the ship. The ship is right to your right. There it is.
Straight ahead, you mean?
Right there. Yeah.
Okay.
So if you look now, the water is gone because what happened is because there was no swimming feature or volume in the game. It was very hard to get it just right, and people were hiding underneath. It was becoming a problem. So we actually, it ended up being changed a little bit. Now you can go down there, and there's the ship has been fixed, and now they're filling that dry dock up to get the ship out. So it looks that way. Before there was water in there, but you would jump down and you could hide and walk underneath. And people were just, sitting down there. So to make it fair and get it a little more balanced.
Is this one of yours?
That's what
you did this one too?
No, this is. Oh my God, why I'm bad with names. Smuggler. Smuggler is not a good friend of mine. He's made some amazing maps. I mean, we have a lot of great people in this game, making maps. I mean, there's some great maps, and that was the thing when Adam came in, asked about what maps. So it was hard to judge. So choose which one. So what we did was the whole beta team, everybody just got together and we went through every single map, and we went for the fan favorites. People that like playing the most. There were some other great maps too, but it was just not enough time to try to get all this, checked and tested and make sure everything was okay. There wasn't anything you can get out of maps, and there was a lot of things that we had to, look at as a beta team and make sure that everything was smooth for this final patch.
Yeah. Will be another one to look at in that 50 list.
I mean, to be honest with you, they're all great maps. That's why, and as Adam said, there was just not enough time for us to check so many. I mean, it was when we got, I believe, to 41 or something and 42, and then Adam came back and we were talking. He's like, "Let's make it even, if we can, And then we had to really work hard and work late to try to make sure these maps were all done and checked and stuff like that. We want to make sure there was nothing in them that wasn't supposed to be there.
So this is FuriousMuseum.
This is one of the most played maps out there. A lot of people love playing this. It's a small map, but it's it's close quarter. A lot of stressful fighting in this map. So if you go down, either you go straight or go down that ramp to your left a little bit. You could break that glass and jump on top, and the cup, the fave.
Yeah, what's up? Was that's Zuko's cup or something like that?
It's in probably every map out there.
It's glowing in this one.
Yeah. So probably some lighting effect
Yeah.
that's making it. But if you jump out, that's the middle of the map. Basically, you have the extraction team stars on this side, and with the VIP, and then you have it's basically a museum. I
Okay,
forgot the guy's name that made this. Great job with it.
Huh.
Yeah, and honestly, I haven't checked out every single one of
This is
these.
cool.
I've just hopped in on playtests and seen what they've been on. So a lot of this is new to
What
me
if his
too,
name is Andrew?
probably.
Yeah, this is cool. Yeah, there's a lot of different items in here. A little bit of hospital, a little hospital-esque.
Yep, that's
We
all.
can never
covered right
escape hospital. We always have to have hospital somewhere.
Yeah, so there's where you're walking now. A lot of intense fighting right here.
Yeah.
A lot. Yeah, and I can only imagine now with more slots in there, and it could even be more chaotic.
Oh, right. You upped it to, what's the max now? 100 and something?
Yeah, it's 128 players. Yeah.
Has that ever happened? Does anybody know if that's ever occurred yet?
The highest we got in testing was 64.
And how was it?
That was really about as much as our server could handle before it would start losing some latency.
Yeah, so it was. Can I say the joke how all this started, Adam? I mean, throw it out there.
I mean, sure.
Yeah, it was funny because as this was ending, Adam came and asked, what are some things and stuff like that. So I told him, I said, my thing's always been, I wish we could get the player count, maybe to at least 28 or 32 would be maybe a perfect number. All I see him typing is, why not 128? Let's open it all the way.
Well, I think we said 256 originally.
Yeah, dude. And I'm like, wow, I don't know if we could even get that many, people in there. And so he's like, let's just see what happens. I was just actually asking for 30 because every time you went into either a Renegade server or the Misfits or any other server, custom servers, it was always 24, and then you had like 15 players in spectate waiting. So I was like, maybe 32 will be good for that size and stuff like that, and people will at least enjoy it a little bigger, more combat, more intense and stuff, a little bigger fighting.
So I want to ask you, I see this is Rosalie's tag here. Who's the guy who's on the right? Is that her husband?
No, that's, I'm not sure who that is.
Yeah.
But yeah,
No, Ray Fox has his own too.
Okay.
I can't remember what Ray Fox's looks like.
It's similar
Graffiti's
to
meant to be
Rosalie's.
hard to read.
It's sort of like Rosalie, but it says Ray Fox on it.
Back down here. All right, I'm gonna go switch over to. All right, so this. All right, I'm on the Renegade server right now. What are they playing? Mud Village.
Must be,
Mud Village C4. So, but these other servers that were on the beta blockers, they're playing all the standard. I guess they didn't want to. They're on Redline right now, which everybody's seeing that.
Well, I do have admin privileges. I told them we might. Yeah. I said we might switch a map at some point, but if they're in, a good game, that's fine.
Let's see. Well, I'll get on that server, and server's full. Won't even let me spectate. What?
That's good.
See, the whole logic behind this is to try to have some servers because, servers like Renegade, a lot of these custom, they have, besides the 50 maps that were released and the stock maps, they probably have 200-300 maps on their servers.
Yeah.
So imagine someone that doesn't have a good download speed, or there's still people out there that have issues downloading, and they're capped or they're limited. So that's where the beta blockers server came in, where they're just going to be kept with the stock maps and the UMM maps. That were part of the map pack, so that way people can still come in and play and not worry about downloading, like I said, 15 terabytes to just get in the server.
Yeah, no, they had it was 256 maps they had to download yesterday. It wasn't that bad.
Imagine. Well, it depends.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have good speed, if you're running a T line or something, one gig or something, you're not going to have an issue. But if somebody's still, I don't know if there still is, but I'm sure there's people out there that don't have, high speed and stuff like that.
Still smaller than Warzone.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy.
All right, do you have any questions from the chat that need answering, Freeze?
Yeah, well, I want to let, I guess, everybody have their time to talk.
Oh, okay.
And Thomas did join us, by the way, everybody. He's producer. He came in late. But so, yeah, if you guys want to answer questions, I know a big one and something that I pointed out on our Discord that I haven't really advertised is how, VoIP, VoIP, whatever you want to call it, it's not going to be functional when it's hit the cap on players communicating. So, what is the cap again for every
32? You're limited to 32 voice channels.
32. So, yeah, we want people to be aware of that, and I can put it out more. But we encourage people to use the Discord voice channels that we set up if you're in a match and you want to use that to communicate. But a lot of people have their own Discord servers, so we recommend whatever you prefer to use. To chat outside. TeamSpeak if you're into the old school stuff. Yeah, another thing, a lot of people we've told about the PC requirements are minimal. So first part of that, if we could go a little more in depth on that, that'd be cool. If not, I can always show everybody what we have on our Steam page. I know it's outdated, but like for PS4 players that aren't familiar with running PC games, like how easy are we talking here? You know what I mean? Like how easy would it be for people to run? What kind of hardware?
I think a 2.4 gigahertz CPU. It's pretty low, and then the memory footprint of the game is pretty low as well. I think if you have Windows 10, I'd probably recommend at least 8, but I think everybody has 8 with Windows 10. Some people run the game on old ATI cards for people that remember that company.
Yeah, I actually have my other rig has an older ATI card, and I believe I have it is a 2.4 or 2.4 processor. It still runs it, no problem. 1080 at like 40 or 50 frames per second.
Yeah, it's running on DirectX 9. I mean, so
right. I mean, put it this way to kind of summarize. Back in the day when the game came out and all these maps with the computers that were out there, most of these maps were optimized, to render properly and all that. All the new maps, I can guarantee you, I would say 99.9% of them that are coming out, or the ones that are in the map pack, they're not even optimized. They slap the textures, meshes in the map, and you play. So that shows you how much more powerful the PCs are now, that they can handle all that, rendering all that information. Whereas back then, if you would have done that, you would probably kill the computer, or you would crash, or your frames would be not playable. That's how bad it would be. But because of the processing now and the GPUs and all that, like I said, most of the maps are not even optimized.
Another question relating to this that I wanted to say, like me as a PlayStation 4 player, I am terrible at handling AAPG on a keyboard, and a lot of people are asking, do you have a controller? Like how does the controller integration work?
Yeah, I do want to answer this a little bit, because when we made the PlayStation game, we had a real mindset to keep keyboard and mouse on PC and keep controllers on PlayStation. A lot of that is because there's a lot of assistance that went into the PlayStation controller. So if you're a PlayStation player and you're coming over to PC and you use a PlayStation controller on PC, it's not going to act the same way at all. That code was all only on PlayStation. It's not even in the PC build at all. Just just one of those things. People will abuse it if it's there. We don't want them doing that. And now you can make a controller work on PC, and I've talked to several people that have. What I'm saying is it's not the same experience. There's no aim assist on PC, and a few other things as well.
But it's possible.
Yes,
Just
it is
not
possible.
intended.
Yeah, it wasn't the intended input device on PC.
Because a lot of people that I talk to, like in chat, and one of our streamers, Croton Wolf, she had been PS4, and then she got into PC, and she made her controller work, and she handled it pretty well. So, yeah, it's a roundabout, I guess, and like you said, it's not optimized, but you can do it if you're uncomfortable with a keyboard.
I know some people are asking about the official servers retired. Yes, they are, but there are also 3 beta blocker servers up. The beta team put up 3 official servers to be beta official. So for you guys to play in. So jump in there. You're more than welcome. Same rules that were on the official server.
So, Freezy, do you have authorization to change any of those servers? Any of the beta blockers? All right, because right now the ORD server is full. I can't even get in there. JFK is that's got CSAR2, which would be a nice map to get into if somebody wants to jump in there. And then 3, there's 1 person on Spring Street, but I'd like to see the different maps, So if we can get people to go into the beta blockers JFK server, I can jump in there and follow some people. Wolverine is one of the beta testers. We've had a number of beta testers over the years. Here's a list of all the people who have contributed, which we'd like to thank them now officially. Chicken, he's a beta captain. And Mason is a beta captain, right? And Wolverine, you have many jobs.
Yeah, I think Wolverine, you're a jack of all trades beta. We should have made that a title.
I just, I know we talked a couple of days ago. This is all enjoyment. It's my me time where I get away from real life, come in and submerge into this world. And I've met some amazing beta testers along the way. And I mean, the whole community, it's one of the best communities. No matter where I go, what I play, this feels always like home. You come back to it. It's like going out, going to a store, doing something. You're always coming home. This was always home. And that's what kind of hurts a little bit. It's because you always had, not that it's gone. It's still there. Obviously, the official side of it is done, but there's still going to be plenty of servers. And I think I told somebody else, I said, I got at least another 5 maps in me, so we'll still keep building maps for the community. We'll still keep fixing things and making sure people are enjoying it, and so yeah, it's I love working with people, learning, teaching people, and learning myself. So it's a lot of fun.
Well, Thomas, you said you were on QA a lot. Did you have to do a lot of stuff with betas? I mean, what did you really do? What was your role? I want to hear more about it.
But yeah, we worked a lot with the beta testers because just having that many people to test a multiplayer game was so helpful. And trying to test as a small team, you'll miss a lot of stuff, but having a large group that can go and find all the things that dedicated testers miss is really useful.
So how many people were beta testing back then when you got involved?
I don't even know that I had numbers, but internally in the studio, it was like maybe 12 max at a time, give or take. But then betas, there's quite a few more.
All right, right now we're on, this is another Wolverine special, over on the right there. I mean, not on the right, but this is Combat Search and Rescue 2. So this is a remake of an AA2 map?
Correct. It was, this is actually what got me into the beta team. I remember when AA3 kind of was gone, I had left computers gaming all together for a while. I was just busy doing some stuff, and then a friend of mine said, "Hey, they're coming out with a new game, but this time they're gonna because." There was an issue with AA2 where they released an editor, the devs did, but there was so much things you had to get through to even get a map on a server, a lot of rules and regulations and all that. So it was really, you just played around with it. Nothing ever happened. You could try to put it on your server, but then your server would not be authorized anymore. And so no one would want to play on them and stuff like that. So when they released, and I was already working in the Unreal Engine, and I heard about it, so I got in the forum like, hey, can I have the editor so I can start? I have some maps in mind. And I was playing in the UDK at the time. Epic had released the UDK. They were releasing versions of it, so I start making some stuff in that, and I ran into Dev Doc, and I talked to him. I said, hey, maybe I can help and all that. And I talked to some of the betas, and they ended up letting me in, and I literally got the editor, and I just spent months and months on this thing. I mean, it was just every time I did something, I was like, not good enough. And people play, it's fine. No, it's not good enough. I just kept adding and adding and adding. And even till this day, I still don't feel it's good enough. You know what I'm saying? But I had a great time building it, and people played it and they loved it. And it's actually the number one most downloaded map on the Steam. So I'm happy that people enjoyed it. And then there's plenty more maps out there that people have made are just amazing and great. So, but yeah, I mean, as far as putting the time into it, I put a lot of time into it. So,
and it shows.
Yeah, and I remember trying to work with devs, and I tried working with beta testers because we were trying to mimic the AA2 version, which once you capture the Blackhawk, then the second objective would come on. You could blow it up with an RPG or incendiary grenade. We didn't have any of that stuff. So here I was trying to bring stuff in and figure out how to do that. And then it got to a point where I'm like, let's just leave it as is. We tested it, we played it, and it seemed like it worked out great. So we just left it at that.
So
brings a lot of great memories. So.
Why was it a decision to put an editor mode in America's Army to begin with in any version? Dev question, definitely. Daniel, Thomas.
That's before my time, actually.
Well, I mean, I know for PG it was because it was tradition, right? It's like the other games had editors, we had to have it. There was no question. And I don't know. I do a lot of game modding myself. So anything that lets us add a little bit of that experience, I like that, because I think your fans are going to be far more dedicated in the end, right? They're the ones that are going to make the really, really cool stuff. And I see that in game modding. You go play Skyrim or Fallout, the mods are amazing, right? So if we let people have maps, then they're going to do really cool stuff with it.
So it's not, I mean, I game a lot, and having an editor like this isn't common, for this type of game to have that freedom, especially, it's an army game, and it's so cool that gave, you guys gave the freedom to the community to make this kind of stuff. So I think it's a huge asset. It's always been one, but going forward, Wolverine, you can speak to it, how that's the future for the game right now, in terms of bringing new content,
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, especially now with even with the Unreal Engine 5, I mean, we were talking about this the other day. It's just everything's out there now. It's pretty much you can make a whole game. It's just it's the future. I mean, it's the way to go to bring people in and keep people engaged and all that stuff, because you have companies and I don't want to bring other, but there's companies out there that just make a game just for profit only, and then within a month or 6 months there's another version, and then there's others that care about their games like America's Army, and look at how many years, and the editors 2 years is what's kind of helped us keep going. You know what I'm saying? And now with adding the 50 maps and all that stuff. But yeah, it definitely is.
Yeah, I guess the last UMM official competition was quite a while back, and like attention had kind of dropped off of UMMs, and then with this, it's like it brought it back into the spotlight. You know, you guys are getting more attention again. That the function still exists to edit and upload these maps.
Yeah, absolutely. It gives what this gives, the 50 maps. It gives all the people that played basically your standard just stock maps on the official server. A refresher. Here you got 50 maps, extra maps to play with, and thanks to the dev team and everybody in America's Army that allowed this to happen. Because let's face it, you guys could have said, you know what, we're done, pull the plug, it's gone, right? So I truly appreciate it, and I can speak for many that truly appreciate that you guys kept this game. It's still going, and not only that, but to actually have someone like Adam say, hey, what do we need to fix on the editor? What do we need to fix on the user-made map side? So you guys have something to work with. And so it's great that we still have all those tools. To be honest with you, I mean, we can keep this going to, I'm hoping somehow, somewhere, someone just says, hey, I changed my mind, here you go. Let's make another game for you guys. I don't know what those are. We don't know. No one knows. But that's what my dream is. Like, I know right now you guys are saying this is done, but I'm hoping this will just prolong it till someone says, no, you know what? There's still love and care and all that for this game. It's a shame to just kill it, and then something happens from that. And that's hopefully that's my dream. It would be the best dream ever. So, but we're very thankful. The community's thankful that you guys are allowing this keep going, and giving us all these tools to just keep on keeping. There should be the only thing is, like I kept telling people, is the official servers are down, but there's still hundreds of servers out there people can jump into. And the reason why the beta team decided to bring these out, so we don't have that big download. We made servers just exactly the way the officials were, so people don't have to leave the game. They can stay, enjoy it for, years to come.
Yep, and that's Adam, Steven, and Daniel's moves right there. That was their initiative, so hats off to them.
Awesome. Absolutely. I mean, honestly, Adam would hit me up in the middle of the night or on weekend. Hey, how we doing? What's our we would be talking. Are all these done? What else we have to do and all this. So it was great. I mean, I like I said, I appreciated that the fact that this game is still going to be going after this stream is done, after those servers are, well, obviously they're down already. The only difference is you're going to have a couple of servers or whatever, was handful of servers missing, which were the official. But there are servers that went up to replace those. And, I encourage people to remember these maps that are being played right now on the official servers or now on the beta servers. These maps have been out for a long time, that the user-made map community has played them over and over and over and enjoy them. So these are just an extension to the people that haven't played on the custom server. So they're a lot of fun maps, great maps,
Well, and another thing that was so up in the air was stats. Like, I was scared that stats weren't going to be able to get carried over, or they weren't going to be able to be accumulated again. But thanks to Steven working all that through, getting achievements plugged in. So do you have a final count, Steven? Like, you got everything plugged in, right? every achievement.
Just
got
about.
fixed.
We made sure we had all the stats that were required for the Steam achievements. There was an issue with the achievements, is that the achievements were being synced from AAU. So without AAU, you wouldn't be able to earn the Steam achievements anymore, which would have been a problem, right? So we had to get some kind of stat implementation going so that we could continue earning the Steam achievements.
Just a note. I'm sorry to interrupt you. We have a player that's featured right now who I think we know. Are you still talking to us, Thomas?
Oh no! Don't watch me. Don't watch me.
Thomas is like, no, they spotted me.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, well, while Steven is giving that, everyone watch every move Thomas makes.
Yes. All right. Sorry, Stephen. Sorry to interrupt.
Back to plugin. How did you implement? Like you figured out, you couldn't, if you disconnected it, you were going to have to figure out some way to redirect the Steam achievements to Steam anyway.
Right. So we moved as much of that over to Steam stats as we could. And the way it's been going is that up until, AU was shut down yesterday, this morning, I guess. If you had logged in, and it would check your all the stats coming in from AU, and if they were greater than your Steam stats, it would just copy those over to your Steam stats and preserve them in that fashion. I don't think we got every one of them. I think we missed the shoot house high scores because there wasn't a convenient database call for us to get those that would work for our game.
Yeah, we haven't paid attention to those much anyway, so not the most important one.
You can still, there's still high score implementation over in Steam, so you can still get those. It just didn't get preserved from AAU. There's a few other little ones like that, but we got what we needed for the Steam achievements. And of course, there was 2 new Steam achievements that gave us that 100 total, which I thought was pretty cool.
The AA stats folks have the high scores. I think global high scores working for the shoot houses.
Okay.
Yeah, they do. You got to opt in. I meant to mention that, and I'm sorry I didn't. But yeah, the AA stats, if you go to their opt-in website, I'll post the link again. They have a line in there explaining that they will be tracking that now. So good deal on that. Before they did, we weren't going to be able to track that. So, and correct me if I'm wrong, the way to check still in-game your stats is to use the log method, right?
Yeah,
is that still the way?
That's sad. We couldn't do any UI changes, at least anything that would change Flash. That was too big of a risk factor for us. The game is running on Unreal Engine 3 and some really old versions of plugins, and we can't really change those very much, and support for that stuff is waning. So it's getting to be a kind of an ordeal to update a lot of that stuff.
There are components with Flash inside this somewhere?
Oh yeah. We use
yes.
like Scaleform in game.
Yeah.
Flash 5.
Wow. Oh my lord.
And we have to use Army compliant software, and Flash 5 is not Army compliant. So we have to use the latest version of Flash if we want to update the UI. And that's why we didn't do it, because the older and older or newer and newer Flash was getting, and the version in the game was not getting newer with it. It started having import corruption when we published it. And the last time we did it, I think it took 5 full republishes to not have any corruption. So we really did not want to try to do that again. And I think that was a year ago that we did any Flash work.
Oh.
Someone said couldn't switch to HTML5.
No, so Unreal Engine 3 uses something an interface called Scaleform, and that's how it manages its UI, and it uses Flash, and of course the action script in the Flash. So you can actually have logic embedded in the Flash, which is, don't do that. It's very hard to find it, but definitely an older engine.
Yeah.
Definitely not like anything anyone newer uses.
On the screen now we have Dino M. He was one of our allied streamers.
Mm-hmm.
He was probably one of the first. Then he got
in beta. He was a beta.
Oh, beta tester too. Okay, so yeah,
Australia Outback group.
Hopefully he was taken down by a wrist injury. Couldn't play the game for a while.
MIA.
That's what'll take a gamer down. I got a wrist injury. I'm out.
But yeah, he's playing. That's awesome.
Yeah. Good.
I don't know if I guess he's listening, but hey, Dino, you should play when we get a chance. Don't forget to do the Allied streamer tribute because we have a lot of them in chat.
Oh, I can do it right now. Because we were only streaming for a couple hours a week, and because we have to do it from my location, and Freezy had 10 other jobs she was doing, we recruited what we called allied streamers. Were people who were pretty much streaming America's Army anyway. There's Dino right there, and Glory. He was streaming a lot and very dedicated player, competitive player, and he plays with the AAL, right? America's Army League.
Oh yeah.
Primarily,
Yeah,
and
take time.
Yeah, he was their caster. So in Arelli. So yeah, he was their caster, and he did a little bit of casting for us one time. It was very exciting. He really gets into it. If you ever have a chance and you see AAL tournaments out there, check them out. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, maybe Urgent Fury will someday come back, make a comeback.
Yeah, Urgent Fury, weren't they only on PlayStation?
Yeah, they tried to get a PC league up and going, and that was the last I heard from them. I can't remember what the holdup was, whether they didn't know about like server and ping. You know, that was a problem. I don't think they had gotten their entry worked out. They were going to make a special entry method where they could vet, you know, your actual location, so you wouldn't tighten the ping or what have you.
Yeah, they had some cheating problems, which is a shame.
Yeah, so they didn't want to have any tournaments if that was an issue. So understandable, but yeah, AAL, they were always awesome to watch and still are. And Glory, you know, he's still active in the community too. Should have got him here to cast this whole thing. He could have been the caster instead of us.
Yeah.
I know we just want the community to stay tuned to our socials for future announcements, what have you. We're going to keep announcing stuff like helpful resources. I know Cardigan has a really cool video. Could you talk about that? What you want to make, Cardigan?
Oh yeah, I just basically want to do a developer blog on some game features. Now that the PlayStation game is shut down, just kind of talk about some of the things that we did, because we developed them based on the same type of thing. Other game studios put out YouTube videos and GDC talks and explained their features. Halo is one of the games we took some inspiration from. So we want to make a few of our own here while we're closing up shop and share the love.
Hey, so I know people in the chat, they're talking about certain maps, you know, Border or Urban Assault. I just want to be clear that probably almost every map, there might be a few missing, from all three series, from AA2, AA3, and well, I should say actually those two series, sorry, not AAPG, but most of those maps are out there. They've been made in one way or another, or in some form. There's actually 12 that were part of this pack that were either from AA2 or AA3, which was Hospital, Alley, Border, Caesar, Dockside, Dusk, Impact, Mount McKenna, Pipeline, Ranch, Snake Plane, and Streamroller. So there was about 12 maps that were either from AA2 or AA3 that were in this 50 pack. But besides that, there's all the other maps you guys are talking about in chat. They're all in Steam, in the Steamworks. So, and they're all on the custom map servers. So you guys are more than welcome to go jump in, say Renegades or Misfits or any other custom map out there. Just say, hey, can you throw this map on? And you know, they still play great. They play great. Even if some maps are missing the 203s or you know, any other weapon that was part of those series. But they're all out there for you guys. So have at it. You know, if you want to play just in a regular beta server with just these custom maps, you have 12 of them in here. If you want, you're missing out on the other ones. They're all in the custom map servers. Just go in there and say, I'd like to play this map. You know, I believe Bridge Crossing is out there. It is. You know.
Oh, Bridge Crossing?
Yes, I believe it should be in Steam Workshop.
Yeah, I heard that name. I thought that's what they were referring to.
Yeah, so they're all out there. You know, it's just, again, since a lot of people just stay, you know, if they've stayed on the official servers, they might not see them. But these maps have been released for Tayag. Yeah, that's out also. Yes, Lobo actually made that one. That's been out for a long time. Correct. Arctic, yes. I actually worked on Arctic with Beer Me Roach, and we made a version of Arctic. So there's an Arctic version out there, correct? They're all out there. They're all out there. If you look for them, they're all out there. Remember, this is how many years we're just making maps that, there are all, I mean, I forgot, what was the count of maps in Workshop? I think it's like a crazy number. I think 10,000 or whatever it is. So there's a lot of maps out there.
Wow.
And you're at the top.
I'm just, you know what? I'm just a small piece of the pie, honestly. I mean, my enjoyment is having someone come to me and say, "Hey, I'm thinking about making a map. What can I do?" And I'll either send them to my tutorials, or I'll send them to, Muzza's done great job putting tutorials. There's a lot of great guys out there that made great tutorials on YouTube. So there's a lot of people, El Senor, NightVision. I mean, there is on and on. I can sit here for hours naming names of, and we even have our own group, what's called User Made Maps Devs. And we sit there and make maps and share stuff together and release stuff. I mean, and people come in because they don't know what they're doing when they first get the editor. They'll come in there. We have a whole bunch of stuff in there, or we'll answer the questions for them. So yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've been a beta tester, but to be honest with you, I mean, I've worked with the betas like on the game plenty, but most of my work's always been with the community, helping with on the mapping side, helping them with tutorials, helping them how to figure something out, how to set up objectives, how to set up spawn points, on and on and on. That's where most of my work has been. It's always been on that side and talking, with the community, and to keep it going and doing that. I just hope people don't give up so soon just because, like I said, the official side of it is done. It's really the UMMs are the longevity here, and we got to do everything we can to keep that going till maybe one day you guys all come back, say, surprise, hey, AA5. That's the hope, at least.
Well, I want to point out our server, our Discord server. I've let our admins really take control of that, and I said, whatever the flow of what the community wants, let's let that Discord server become it. So I suspect it will, will push to have more channels on Mission Editor, a lot more channels on starting up your own private server, a lot more channels on sharing ideas on map making. I think that's the direction that's going to go in, and be a better resource for that.
Well, all you people out there that are posting in here, PC or PlayStation, go get you can get it doesn't have to be a NASA type of computer, really. As everybody in here mentioned, it's an older engine. You can get a minimum spec PC and as she said, throw your controller on and have fun. Come along, come to the dark side. Forget the console, come to the PC, where it matters. But no, all jokes aside, I mean, it won't take much, really. I think I'll be honest with you. Maybe I know for some people it's a lot, but a couple $100 will probably get you playing it. Just go look in your garage, look in your closet, find some parts, throw them together. You should be no problem playing it. It doesn't take much. And you don't have to miss out. You don't have to say goodbye. You could say hello to the PC side, to the custom servers and all that stuff. So it's up to you guys to keep this going. It's up to all of us now, to keep having fun and enjoying it.
Yeah. I mean, that's the point we really want to drive home. Yeah, that we're leaving it to the community to grow and take what they made in the final build and run with it, because there's so much customization now with the team cap going up to, what is it, 100, and what is it again? I keep forgetting.
128.
Yeah, 128.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
There's been chats in our UMM devs Discord. We're trying to think of ways now to bring like that battle royale type system into it. Now we're I had actually a map where you could parachute out of the map and come to the ground. And so I'm thinking using that method to jump out of planes or choppers or whatever, to make some maps and have some fun with big battles, so Yeah, I mean, absolutely. It's you're not limited by any means. We're not limited as a community. I encourage everyone. I mean, even if you're new and you're a great player, but you're like, man, I wish I knew how to map. I would make the perfect map. Come along. Hey, hit me up in Discord. Hit me up on Steam. I'll be more than happy to walk you through and help you guys. You know how to make your dream map. You know your vision. You know, bring it into an actual world. You know, play it. So
You should have some blogs or a YouTube channel where you go into depth. You should do a live stream.
I do. I have. I've had. Like I said, I'm not sure how many, like 10, 12, 15 tutorials out there. I've covered a lot of things. And
but are they older videos, or do you think they're pretty good?
Some are
now?
older, some are newer. But I can, if someone's having an issue, you could join us in the. Again, it's the user made map devs. Discord. Will help you there. If you're looking to make a map, if you're willing to try, there's people to help, and if there's something that between, all the devs in there, there's over 100, maybe 200 tutorials out there on how to make a map. If something's not there, just post it in that Discord and we'll answer it and help you with it. Not a problem. There's always going to be someone to have an answer for you. It's once you get over that first hump, of opening it, because it could be intimidating, open up the editor and just seeing a nothing but a dark, like blue lines and all that, like once you get past that, talk to somebody, one of the devs or the user-made map devs, the guys that are making maps. They can walk you through things, show you how to open up certain maps, look at them and what things are. But like I said, there's a lot of information out there. There's no shortage of tutorials to help you guys make maps.
So, Thomas, are you still in the server, or did you?
I popped out. I noticed
wave your red flag.
moving around in servers.
Yeah, they.
Well, I was gonna say you should try to go into the Leavenworth.
You
want
me to go to jail? What?
I mean, I'm not telling you to commit, treason or anything. Or
they changed maps. They're over in Reaction now. And
we should have the combat camera go into Leavenworth and show off the junk bot disco.
That's what I was saying.
That's gonna be. By the way, that's probably going to be my next map. Just FYI, that bottom part of that Leavenworth, that's probably going to be the next map. Yeah. Oh, this is this is made by NightVision. I believe this is one of the 50 maps that were released in the pack. I believe it's called Simple. If you hit what is it? The
tilde.
Tilde. It should bring up the browser. The player browser.
Yeah.
And it should say on the top, no, not there.
Server info?
The tab, try the tab.
It says OK overkill.
Escape and tab. Hit tab. Escape out of there.
Escape and tab. Okay.
Yeah, hit tab.
There we go. And
oh, that's the overkill server. Okay. So, yeah, right there. So it's that Simple X map. You see it? That's Simple map. That's the name of the map.
Okay.
Top right corner.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's every map will be up there, correct? And then the server name is right to the left of it, correct?
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
so this was
that dude fell right off it.
Yeah. Lot of variety, a lot of different maps that were in this pack. You got a little bit of everything, nostalgic, new, in between. I mean, you got outdoor map, indoor maps, close quarter. I mean, you have a little bit of everything. So these 50 should be good for a lot of people for a while. And then again, just keep making maps and adding more maps to the game. There's no limit to how many you could add. As you just said, you went into the Renegade server, you downloaded about 250 maps, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, and then not counting the 50 that were in the map pack, and then not counting all the stock maps. So you're well close to probably 350 maps. You tell me which other game has this.
Is there a max that you should load in there before it starts to affect anything, or is it?
Well, it's hard to tell. There's certain servers when they put so many, they get about over 100, 150, they'll have some issues. There's other servers that put 200 and 250 and there's no issue. So it's tough. I guess ISP comes into play, how much information you're downloading. I mean, I don't know the exact answer to that, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's actually one of the reasons why Adam and Steven work so hard to get so many maps into the game, because those maps are going to work, whereas sometimes you don't know exactly what's going to break it as you keep adding stuff in the workshop. Not that it's likely to break, just.
And as far as dimensions of a map, size, how do you determine that? There's some type of limitation to your play space, right? Is it predetermined?
Well, so there's two actual editors here. There's a basic editor which came with a lot of preloaded
assets in there, right?
Not only assets, but that you had a starter map. Like it would set up the objectives for you and give you a terrain. And depending on the size, there's medium, there's large, there's long, there's small. So you choose that size, and it'll kind of help you create that terrain for you to give you that kind of play space, to be able to build on. So that's on there. And then you have some people which most will start with the basic. Once you build it in the basic, you have your terrain. You could close that out and open up the advanced editor, and your map will load in there, and then you can start building on there. Where with the basic, you had also, like you said, assets that would show up, your walls and doors and all that. You could just drag and drop, but you were limited. I mean, you couldn't go into really customize and do crazy stuff with it. You could pretty much just lay out buildings and create a layout and stuff, and obviously mess around with the terrain and manipulate it and all that stuff, create hills and all that stuff. So, but the advanced, you pretty much were no holds bar. You could do whatever. If you understand it, you could build, so. But yeah, that's how the space is limited. Now the Unreal Engine itself, the newer one, has a bigger rate, area you could build on. But there's a lot of ways of doing it. You could stream in levels like the stock maps are. There's certain things that are streamed in, but the devs can maybe touch up on that a little more. But these user-made maps, no, you just had a terrain, and as you see this map, the map, the guy that made this map just basically had probably basic terrain. He created a snow material possibly, or he grabbed one and added, and then just threw stuff around as houses and all that. So it's basically just a basic map, but plays great, a lot of fun, people like it. So sometimes less is more, right? You don't have to, every map doesn't have to be 100% perfectly detailed to a T. Sometimes just throwing something together works out great. I mean, one of the biggest user-made maps is called Invaders. If you see it, I think there's only 3 buildings in there, but it plays amazing. The flow of the map, the choke points, the angles, everything on that map it's just phenomenal. It flows great,
Invaders.
But
right. I'll switch over to that one.
But if you see, I mean, it's basically I don't know, maybe like total of 5 meshes altogether,
All right, so
I think that, yes,
I just loaded up on this screen here. I'll go to a single screen so you guys can see it bigger. So this is the basic editor, right?
Correct.
So I just loaded that up. So if somebody wants to get into it, this loads right in. I just installed this as we were talking. So
yes,
it's pretty light. It's like 98 megabytes or something like that. So you would pick one of these to start with, BDX or Flow. Size small, medium, large, huge, or long. We'll go medium. Right. Template. We can so you can do. I like take and hold.
Okay.
Mission name. And this is going to be Final Stream.
Yeah. So, and then you need to give it a name. Just pick a name, whatever it is, and obviously your description. So
Mission description.
no space.
No
Just
spaces?
keep it all no space. Yeah,
Okay, and then what happens? We hit OK.
correct. And then that will
Okay.
create the template for you
So
with that map.
This
name.
is the basic. What I picked medium.
That's the
right?
basic.
Yeah.
Yep. So there it is. You got 4 volumes that give you the workspace that are around. You see those like I don't know what color are you. They look like pinkish lines along the outside. If you look up a little bit, you'll see them right there in front. There's a yellow one, and so those, the pinkish ones are like the blocking volume. That blocks up the area. You can't get out of there. The other one, I believe it's either the reverb or the light mass important volume, which that's how lighting is calculated. When it bakes the light and then stores it for you. That's how you get all those shadows and stuff like that. But basically, as you see there, you chose
I chose medium.
Take and hold.
Right?
Yeah, that's a medium size map.
Really, to me.
No, it's not. When you go in there, you'll see. If you go ahead and say, you could either right click play from here, or you go up to the top, I believe it is, and say play, play, and go closer in, and then right click on the ground and say play from all the way in the bottom.
Right, well,
You're probably going to be out of the map right now.
Okay.
Allow that.
If I deploy.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're going to deploy out of the map because you're outside and you try clicking. So you're probably going to be out of the place area. Okay, yeah. So get out of there. Hit escape. Exit.
Yeah, I'm out.
So scroll, go back in, and then click on the ground.
Right.
Left click and then right click and do the same. So it picks a spot for you, and then go ahead play from here.
Okay.
So see, it's that easy.
Look at that.
Yeah.
It's that easy. We've never attempted on a stream to do that before, so that's pretty cool.
So here's the thing. So what you just did right now, you bypassed the spawn points. You basically just play from an area. Like if you're testing your map, and let's say you build something in this area, you could right click around that area and play from here. But you could also play and spawn from the spawn. So if you get back out again, so that's just how it would be if you played from there, right? But you could also spawn at the spawn points and work yourself out. So it basically gives you the 2 spawn points, and it gives you the objective you've chosen, and pretty much just a flag ground. Then that obviously got some of that background stuff going on. So you could build map basically in here, or you can start deleting some of that stuff and doing that. So now if you want to build, go ahead, get out for a second.
Yeah, now see, it looked like a very small spot, but I guess if you had buildings and alleyways and different levels and everything there, it just, Yeah. Cool.
So right bottom left where it says place objects here, you see it? Click on that, expand that.
Yeah, and you go different elements.
And then select, there you go. So now you got those walls. Go ahead, grab some, drop them in there. Just grab with your left mouse and drag and drop. Drop them in a wherever you want in the map.
Oh, here we go. There's a wall, another wall.
Yeah, you got to hold your left down, and there you go, and then just drop it.
Yeah.
And then when you're ready, hit it, escape.
And then we're done with that. And...
Just escape.
Yeah, I did. Oh, well, you're looking at the live stream, aren't you?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah,
because it's
so then you could grab something else, right? So and so everything will snap. It depends on your grid. You could snap them together to create walls and buildings and all that. So, like for example, there's a lot of mappers will take this stuff and put different materials on it and whatnot, so they look fresh, they look new, and different. Use them in different ways, right? You got rails, stairs, so whatever you want, it's there for you. You can go in there and select. You can do lighting. So there's a lot of stuff there to get you started.
Yeah, you can see all the building blocks of a lot of different.
Correct. There's garbage cans. There's foliage. You could throw trees in there, tires, on and on and on.
Oh yeah. So if that's the scale, and that's a car. Yeah, that is. Yeah,
correct.
Yeah, now you have something to work with. It doesn't look like,
right.
Yeah. That's cool. So this,
so you could escape.
This is the basic.
And you could go in and out. Yeah, sorry.
Keep
now,
going.
if you go right click by the car, and play, you'll see now it feels a little more like proper scale. It just looks because it's empty, right?
Yeah.
So there's a car, there's
Yeah.
those walls you put in and all that stuff.
Huh.
So
All right. So people that are hesitant, this is this easy to start.
Correct.
To start with, anyway. So this is the basic. Let me get out of here.
I don't want to say it, but if Combat Cam can do it, anybody
get out.
can.
No way.
Well,
What? Hey,
I don't know if I would be as good as you. You seem to have good control on that. So, okay.
Save before exiting. Oh, sure, I'll save it.
it's really it's very, if you're nervous or you're intimidated by the advanced editor, go this route. A lot of people started this route. I mean, if you don't mind clicking on start up the Unreal, the one beneath it,
I'm gonna have to
the advanced one.
Hey Wolverine, I know you were
Yeah.
mentioning earlier you had some maps where you could actually parachute in. So like adding that kind of parachute functionality to a Proving Grounds map, that requires this kind of editor,
Yes,
not the
yes.
basic one.
Correct. When you're doing, like, you bring in some animation or some, sort of additional sounds or stuff like that, yes, you're going to need the advanced. But if you go to File and say Open right now, you're going to see your map is going to show it's going to show up. Go ahead, click File. Oh, yeah. And there's your map. So double click it. Now you could open it. And now you can work out of here. So yeah, that's fine. The lining needs to be, you can close that off. So now what this is, it gives you 4 views. It gives you a perspective view of your map, but it also gives you 3 other views that you can look at from the side, from the top, and I believe what is the front, left, and side, front, and top. So if you're working on something, these views come handy that you're, if you're looking to fix something from one angle, you lined it up, but from another angle, from the side is not right, you go in and tweak it and stuff like that. But there's a lot of ways you hide stuff and turn on stuff. So otherwise it just becomes a mess. So this is obviously, like I said, advanced. But you could turn this into one viewport as well. If you look at where like your icons are on each viewpoint, there's a little box at the end of each viewpoint on the top right. There's like a black, if you click on one of those, it'll open up. Yeah, there you go. So which view? Yeah. So, and then you could also change it. There's but up top on the bar now, you have your you see the S up there?
Yeah.
Okay, so that change, if you click on it, it should open up. You see it changes to what are you on perspective now? Yes. So now go to the light up the map, which is 3. If you put your arrow on the boxes that are next to it, it'll tell you what each one is. As you go a little more to the right, a couple more, another one. Yeah, that one. Click on that.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's now you can hover and move around. Okay. Yeah. So that's without lighting. The next one will show you the actual lighting baked. If you go up and down.
How do I move out of here? I'm below everything.
So just kind of look up and move up with your arrow, or just grab, I believe it's both arrows, and hold them down and move up.
Both arrows.
Or it's, yeah. So left and right click and move up.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
And I do want to give
Yeah.
plenty of spotlight to this, but I did want to say with Wolverine, a lot of your maps and a lot of people's UMMs, like, they have a story behind them relating to the actual lore of AAPG and America's Army, and that all comes down to the comics. I would love for you to maybe tell a story of how you weave that into one of the maps you made. But I also wanted definitely to give time to show, or at least talk about the comics, because a lot of people don't even know they exist.
Actually, and just talking to, believe it or not, a lot of these mappers, they take areas from where they live, or things they like, they've seen, or something that's a little more old, from World War I or World War II, and different parts of the world, and they make different maps, stuff like that. There's story behind a lot of them, and as I was telling you off the air, what was it, last week, when I made the new pipeline, the pipeline 2072, it was really based on that comic, because in the comic it's blown up, right? And so when I made it where now it's, here it is, whatever, 70, 80 years later. This is a facility now. It's state of the art. It's not just an oil refinery, but it's also has materials and chemicals and all that stuff. It's hidden on an island, in a small island somewhere. And so there's that storyline behind it, and it kind of gives you it when you're working on that, create a story, you get a better flow of working on something, instead of just going winging it. Sometimes the winging maps work as well too, but for the most part, every map has some reason. And that was the reason with CSAR. CSAR was, we had, I believe, 7 servers in AA2, 7 or 8, I don't remember. And I think 5 of them were on CSAR. And we played the hell out of it. I mean, that map was just around the clock played. I love that. That village, there was a lot of maps we played. So that was the reason why I made that map, and I loved it. And so it became where I had, every time I went to a server, it was people, hey, when is this coming out? When is that coming out? It's just, I wish I could make them all. Believe me, I would. It's just, there is a story. There's a reason why you're making something, and then it makes it feel, when you've done with it and you see actually people on your map, they're playing, having fun. It's
right.
It's fun, so it's a lot of fun.
Well, a lot of people are asking. I just saw one. Keebler wants pipeline.
Yeah, I mean,
big deal. So that's great. You got.
It's not a big deal. It's just another map. Like I said, it's just
another map.
Yeah, it's just another map. Right. There's like probably about 20 or 25 different pipelines out there. It's just another.
What was the first version of America's Army to have pipeline? Was it in the original game? I can't remember actually.
It became, yes, the original had it, and then they came out with, when SF came out, they came up with an SF version as well. So originally, it was I want to say came out later on, 1.7, 1.8, somewhere in there. It wasn't, or 1. It was in 1 point something, I think. And then 2.0, when SF came out, that was released, and then a pipe. I'm not sure if it was exactly in that with the 2.0, or just slightly after. That's when they came out with the SF version.
I remember for AA3, played Pipeline so much. It's one of my favorite maps in America's Army 3.
Yeah.
It's one of those maps that really showed off the sound improvements that were made in AA3 versus the older game.
Did you test anything on it? Like, did you have a roll?
Yeah. We tested lots on that.
Well, one of the questions I had yesterday, and maybe somebody can answer it today, is through the years, AA2, you had to do a lot of training to unlock the next level and the next level. And I saw in AA3, there was some, but less, and PG, none, really. So who made those executive decisions? I think Steven said that, people just didn't like the training because it stopped them from playing. But
yeah, there was a lot of complaints, probably mostly from new players. They just didn't like going through training in the previous games. And I guess our designers took that to heart when they started working up the design for Proving Grounds.
You get to experience death by PowerPoint without having to be in the military.
Yeah, I suppose that aspect was replaced with the loading screen videos. Like, we had that time where the map's loading. We had to do something with it.
Yeah.
We could, with the Army, but there's stuff up there. That was, you got to see, like, I know there was some of the videos that covered some of the basic training stuff and the guys running, and
those
are guys running.
Actually, those are all the stuff. I put all those. I would go out and subscribe to a bunch of different Army-related YouTube channels, and they used to give you an email. They send you an email whenever a new video came out. So I'd review them and then save the halfway decent ones, and then I would try to cut them down so maybe more of the exciting parts were at the beginning, because it seemed like just maybe 10 seconds was the normal. As soon as anybody could get out of it, they would get out of those videos. But you know,
Did anyone else? I actually sometimes would get so engrossed in them I'd miss that the loading was complete and I could skip out.
oh really?
That's how I was. I love
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Some of the Real Hero videos were pretty good like that.
Yeah. And Combat Cam, don't you have? I mean, do you want to show off? I know Speaking of basic training, I really want to show the community the green up video. Should we give an intro before we say?
Well,
like,
no, the
I know
developers.
Steven was here.
Yeah, developers through the years were, because it's the Army, have access to actual Army training. And there were several instances where they were taken out and brought to ranges. I know Soundy did a lot of work just recording sound all over the place. But there was one green up that was I believe, right before AA3, because I remember people talking about it. And it was kind of a shock because all the developers thought they were just going to go out for like fun and games. And it was actual Steve, were you there, Steven?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was like
we thought it
5
was gonna be
days
like
or
a
something,
week on
right?
the range, like a week on the range with helicopter rides, right? And
Woo!
no,
Well,
there was a
Had
little
there
bit of
been
range
earlier
in
green
there.
ups that were that?
I don't know.
We did like
Yeah, that's what we had heard. The rumors were previous ones. They just went to the range and shot guns and stuff, and so we were looking forward to that.
Yeah, we did get to spend some time on the range at Green Up, but no, it was just like waking us up at like 3 or 4 a.m., running us until we drop and making us do push-ups on like loose gravel.
I have a little a snippet of a video. Maybe it's a minute long. I'm just gonna play it.
First off, nobody knew. Nobody had any idea. At least anybody from here at America's Army. Nobody knew what we were in for.
You live, you survive as a team, right?
As soon as we get off the bus, it's just, drill sergeants all lined up, and you get your uniforms, and all of a sudden you're out there sweating and running, and then it's like, oh my gosh, we're really doing this.
I know a lot of us had kind of mentally prepared, like, okay, they're probably gonna try to mess with us and make us do some physical stuff, yeah, whatever. But I don't think anybody had realized the full depths of exactly what they were going to put us through.
We learned how to move as a squad. We learned various aspects of the Army experience.
Originally, I'd gone in thinking we were going to learn a whole lot in order to be able to translate it directly into a game experience. Like, we're going to get cool reference photos of the BRM rifle range. We're going to be able to see all the weapon interactions and stuff like that. But I think what I learned and sort of took away from that was just what it's like to be in a soldier's shoes at BCT.
Well, it's funny now. It wasn't fun back there.
Yeah.
So
who was telling me? Was that you, Daniel? That somebody that was participating in this got in there, got all suited up, started to run out to one of the obstacle courses, and then told them that he had heart surgery like 3 weeks before. Maybe he shouldn't be doing this. Was that? Did you tell me that?
Yeah, we had that was someone that was working on the database team. They'd come up and nobody told us what was actually going to go on. So we just got to the airport and got on the bus. And once somebody that had actually been in the Army saw the white bus picking us up for the airport, they knew we were in for it. None of the rest of us didn't know until there.
That was terrible.
Yeah, right.
He's like, oh no. They're like, what happened? He's like, oh shit, we're screwed.
I know that white bus with those blacked out windows.
Yeah. They're like, nah, they're not. He's like, oh, we're screwed.
There's another.
I was fortunate. I was pretty fit at the time, relatively. It'd probably destroy me now completely.
Yeah, I definitely would have done a little more exercise beforehand if I knew what I was getting into.
Yeah, the one guy
they had me doing push-ups right off the bus too, because like the drill sergeant started yelling at us, and I'm just grinning. I'm thinking it was all some kind of fun and games, and they get me doing push-ups right away. That was something.
There's another video. I got a little piece of a video here. That range shoot. That was another time. I think you went to Fort Jackson, I believe, and recorded a bunch of sounds for PG, and I'll play that too.
Once you drop that hammer, don't let it up.
So that was a good day, I would imagine. Shooting,
yeah, that was fun.
Shooting,
especially like that 50 cal. That thing like shakes the world when it goes off.
A couple of the other things. Let's see. We talked about the comics. There was this Real Heroes aspect of the game I just wanted to touch on because that's another kind of like offshoot. It's not the game, but it was part of the America's Army world. Real Heroes in the VAE. So this is another video I have here. This is a little long. It's probably a couple minutes, but I'll play this and just so people know they existed. Because if you jumped in at PG, you don't even know any of this stuff went on.
Valor is knowing what has to be done and doing it regardless of the consequences.
In September 2006, America's Army launched the Real Heroes program. The program tells the stories of some of the many soldiers that have exhibited courage under fire and earned citations for bravery and valor. These soldiers embody the warrior ethos. Always place the mission first. Never accept defeat. Never quit. Never leave a fallen comrade. The soldiers were made into a line of action figures, trading cards, and in-game characters.
My name is Sergeant First Class Gerald Wolford. I'm a paratrooper originally from Oakland, Oregon, and I received the Silver Star for gallantry in action in Osama, Iraq.
Staff Sergeant Timothy Nine. I'm the recipient of the Distinguished Service Cross for my actions in Salman Pak, Iraq.
My name is Staff Sergeant Zedwick of the Oregon Army National Guard. I was awarded the Silver Star for gallantry in Iraq.
My name is Sergeant Jason Mike. I'm a combat medic with the 617th Military Police Company, operating on our call sign Raven 42.
I'm a part of the America's Army Real Heroes program. We've taken soldiers that have distinguished themselves in combat, and we get to tell their story through the video game as a video game character, as well as an action figure that's sold throughout stores like Toys R Us.
Starting with Special Forces 2.85 Overmatch, the Real Heroes were featured in the Virtual Army Experience in-game. They were also on the road with the touring Virtual Army Experience.
We started off using America's Army software, and we brought it to kind of real life, where we can have any civilian come in what we call the Virtual Army Experience.
The Virtual Army Experience was well received as it traveled to over 40 states, visiting NASCAR races, amusement parks, state fairs, music festivals, and air shows. The VAE attracted over 150,000 participants through March 2009.
I've been in recruiting a long time. This is one of the best tools I've seen thus far.
This sets a new bar for recruiting.
It is the very best recruiting tool by far.
And once you go in this thing and come out, you'll be ready to enlist on the other end.
I didn't want that to be forgotten. It was a slice of time from, what did I say, 06 through 9 maybe. The VAE toured and the Real Heroes. And those guys were all subject matter experts, or most of them, during the building of 3 and PG. I think Tommy Riemann was the only one who was left for subject matter expert for PG. But the other
that was a really
Tommy
cool
gave me a
project.
noogie one time.
The VAE, I mean, it launched at the Daytona 500, and 5 18-wheelers that traveled around with it. It was a pretty big tent that went up.
Yeah. And what do you think? So if that was built in 2000, what did I say, 6 or 5, how different could it be now? Like as a
we'd have some VR setups in it for sure.
Yeah, VR, Unreal 5. Yeah, it'd be pretty cool to do now, for sure.
Yeah. How's that?
Well, let's get to work. What are we waiting for, guys?
Monday. Somebody upstairs to say, okay, let's do that, and he'll write a check.
People are typing one in the chat. They want to type one in the chat for a new AA tomorrow morning. So let's go.
Well, we have Firebreak making their rounds.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, how did that come out? Firebreak is a helicopter simulator VR with a seat, motion seat, and everything.
Yeah, that was the
VR's out for a pretty looking army recruiting trailer rolling around your town.
Yeah, it's a single trailer.
Look at that! There comes all the ones.
I think there's just one trailer for now, but we'll see.
Oh, good. Now, who made the decision? That was rendered in a very basic fashion. Is that just for CPU?
That's for... Well, when you have the large landscape in VR,
yeah,
you got to make some choices about art style.
Yeah. So that's like a low polygon count, everything, because it's so huge.
Yeah, well, for VR specifically, you want to hit 90 frames a second, right?
Oh, really?
And it has to render it, per eye. You get some savings in the GPU for that, but it takes a lot. You can't go for 60 frames a second anymore in VR.
It'll just you'll see. It just won't look right.
You get motion sickness if you're under 90.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, I should say you exaggerate the motion sickness.
And I know when you were testing it, you were getting like the chair, the motion for the chair wasn't calibrated where you were working on it, and it was like making people ill.
Oh yeah, it's always a thing for VR, especially when you add in a motion chair.
Yeah, that got fixed up.
My God, as you guys are talking now, I'm just picturing Unreal Engine 5 and this game in it. I mean, imagine the beauty. Wow. I'm gonna sleep tonight just dreaming that. Gorgeous. And imagine what could be done feature wise, like what you can implement now that you couldn't before. It's just mind boggling.
Yeah, we could possibly spring for some destructible walls. It's
oh yeah,
been a dream of mine.
Yeah, absolutely. Pull that RPG out and blow the whole wall with 3 enemies behind it or something. The outpour. Yeah.
So I'm just running a slideshow here of some of the fun stuff that we had. All the different holidays stuff would change out, and there's Leavenworth right there.
That was fun for PS4 users. They finally got to go to jail and check it out.
Great.
Yeah, it was kind of a weird advertisement, but.
What was that? Yeah, you sent this to me. You sent me a picture of a glowing toilet. That was was that a special for Leavenworth one time, or was that always there?
No. If you go there, one of the devs can probably explain it better than I can. But if you do happen to do a bad thing and go to Leavenworth, and you go into one of the cells and you interact with that golden green toilet, remember it takes you down to the rave underneath the jail with the recycle box.
Oh.
Yeah. The toilet is the key to find the rave.
Okay. And then we had some of these...
Lots of Easter eggs in Leavenworth.
Some of these glitchy things that when people would get really tall or, their limbs would stretch out. What was that? How did that happen?
Oh my gosh. We actually noticed that the first time during a tour. We had some VIPs coming through. And a bunch of testers were filling up all the seats to keep things looking busy, and suddenly that started happening consistently. That was real fun.
And what's
there's a lot of ways to glitch out the skeleton. The the big one that hits at least Proving Grounds at least is if you have no weapon at all equipped, you go into that crazy twisted pose that we nicknamed the dead space pose.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of weird stretched out stuff and some other strange things.
Yeah, there it is, Dead Space Man.
There goes the alien.
A3 had something to do with terrain being above you. You could get some really weird things.
There's the golden RPG. Nobody's found it yet.
Oh, is that's the early stages of Crossfire, right? That other picture was
current.
The alien.
Not the alien. I don't know.
Yeah, the alien. Yeah. That looked like Crossfire.
Well, that's the fun stuff. What else do we need to talk about?
I think we've honestly answered most people's questions in our communications. And we'll keep releasing stuff on Twitter, like useful resources. And Cardigan and a couple betas and I will have a Steam guide release that really, I guess, encompasses all the features available. And it's going to have a section. Seems to be a big deal. A section on common troubleshoots and fixes. Like a lot of people in chat, I noticed, are still having a little problems with PB. This Steam guide we release and we'll send out on socials. We'll go over common fixes for that kind of stuff. So you guys will have a guide to carry you through for a while.
You're going to be posting that in the next week or so, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then
and I noticed
you're pretty much done after that.
Well, if Daniel tells me to do more stuff, then I will.
Well, I'm done. I'm done after tonight. Well, I'm gonna edit this stream down to more concise. Post that on YouTube. I'll post that 20-year video on YouTube. Clean up a few other things, and then that's it for me. It's been a good run. 13 years.
Yes, thank you all for the work you put in, viewers for watching, players for playing. Appreciate all of it.
Yeah.
And this is pretty much the end of it for us. We're just wrapping things up from here, backing that data and storing everything away for
that next 5 when
sake.
all the money comes in again, right?
Well, hopefully I'm going to go win the lotto and I'm going to hire all you guys and we're going to make the game. How was that?
All right. Sounds
That'd be a nice twist to the story.
I just want to throw up these stats. We weren't sure that these seem low to me. 20 million players cross titles.
Yeah, we're being forgiving with these. We expect this to be a lot higher, but as of, the date there, that is what we have.
15 million downloads. I think it's way more than this because I was looking at some news articles from back, when AA3 was coming out, and some of these numbers were around that at that point. But anyway, one of the top 10 most downloaded free games on PS4 in 2018, over 5 million total user accounts created. How can you have 5 million total user accounts when there's 20 million players?
So that's America's Army plus America's Army Proving Grounds. So 15 million plus 5 million equals 20 million.
Oh, gotcha. I wasn't.
And I'm a communications major.
I didn't read the title above it. It was just, 26.4 million hours played. I think the Army got their money's worth on this. Tremendous amount of exposure, lots of love, and I hope they see the light and possibly bring it back, and make Wolverine the happiest Wolverine out there.
Oh, you bet. I'm not just me. Believe me, everyone that's in here too would be happy, and the millions around the world that have played this through the 20 years. So,
all right.
Yeah, and from those numbers, a lot of people look at the Steam numbers because that's what's publicly available. They don't realize there's about tenfold number of people playing on PS4.
Oh yeah.
Throughout since that came out. So.
Oh, and I just want to mention the Army Game Studio is a great resource that should be used to much greater effect. So that's my 2 cents. Anybody else want to have any wrap up comments before I run the credits and we get out of here?
Just thanks for playing our game, and hi to my parents. Thank you for watching.
as far as from my end, please keep playing. The game is not dead. It shouldn't be dead. It's just part of it is gone, but it's still the whole game is there. I mean, everything you need is there for you. If you keep making maps, having fun, and bringing people and enjoying it, there's no reason why you guys can't keep enjoying it. Absolutely no reason at all. And thank you to everyone that I've met, talked to, the devs. I mean, everybody in the years that I've been around this game, I've had nothing but fun and enjoyed this game. So thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I've got one more fun story before we close. Okay. I was at a game developers conference a few years ago when PUBG first came out, and Brendan Green had a slide up of his inspirations for PUBG, and America's Army was on his list. So,
wow.
Player numbers are one thing, but you never know how impacted those players will be. So,
yeah, actually, when I was talking to Soundy last week, a few of the people that were on the initial dev team for America's Army are very high up in different major game development companies. So, yeah, the people that worked on it are probably throughout the industry, all over the place. So it's had a lot of impact.
Never say never, guys. Okay. Don't say not everything's possible. I know you say maybe not possible now, but you never know, right?
Yeah.
Things change.
True. All right. Freezy, anything? What do you got?
Oh, well, you know me. I was going to say hoo-ah at the end, but I just wanted to say I'm honored to have been brought onto the project. And I'm honored to have started these streams with you, Combat Cam, Jerry.
Yeah, no, I had a lot of fun. I was like, man, they're paying me to because a lot of times I'm still a noob. I just really started playing the game. I never had any reason to. I'm not really a major gamer or anything. Just when I started streaming and I was really getting into it at the end there, I was like, I had my own private server and I was, playing around and everything, and I had a really good time. So, thank you for that opportunity.
Same.
Yeah, and thanks everybody for being so nice to the community managers over the years. They just talk about how great the community is, and no problems moderating or complaints or anything.
At least on the PC side.
Yeah. No problems at all.
We don't get phone calls to our supervisors at work trying to randomly get somebody unbanned or anything like that.
Never happened. But no, I did. Yeah, I had a wonderful time. Thank you for letting me be your community manager. I don't feel like I had to do much managing because I've always, like Daniel said, the community's already so cool and awesome and held together. So, yeah, I was just one of your buddies, but I'm glad I got to help.
Okay, I'm going to say over and out. I'm going to run the credits right now. So, okay, so basically there's going to be a little bit of a redo of that 20-year, the end of that 20-year video is going to play. And then I pulled credits from AA 2.5. I just frame captured them, so they'll roll through. Then there was some credits on the wiki from the open beta, which I just scrolled those. And then there's another set of credits that were the last version that appeared in current AAPG. If you hit credits, it'll scroll up. So I just recorded that. It's like 3 or 4 minutes of credits if you want to watch all that. It's at the very end. And then the national anthem will play. So you can stand up and salute everybody. Okay, thank you all, and over and out.